Hey Taurus, thank you so much for joining us at 3 Rabbit Tarot for your weekly reading for the week of March 7th to March 14th. We're going to be pulling a bunch of cards here to get an idea of your general energies for this week, as well as any challenges that you'll be facing and a little bit of advice on how to overcome those challenges. If you haven't checked out your monthly reading for the whole month of March, I really recommend you go and do so. It'll probably be linked down below for you. That's going to give you like a general outline for the whole month. And then this weekly reading is going to plug right into that. So Taurus, getting started here, we're going to go ahead and draw, not these cards, we're actually going to draw one card here for your general energies for this week. Here we have the Four of Acorns card talking about comfort and community. And also the acorns on this tarot deck are similar to the Pentacles cards. So this is talking about something a little bit material right now, kind of holding on to your wealth at this moment, in like a really stable and secure position though. Like you're not, normally when you see like the Four of Pentacles, it feels like that wealth could be stripped away at any moment. Like the person on a card is like holding on to that money. But here with these cards, it's definitely more positive, I'd say. You get the sensation of like just being more grounded and stable right now. And the monthly reading that I was talking about earlier, that was all about you kind of questioning your value in like a certain relationship or a certain, it doesn't have to be like a relationship between people, or also like a working situation as well. So kind of like feeling as though maybe you weren't being valued and deciding that you might have to step away from something to pursue something where you would be valued. So I can see right now as maybe you did step away from like a negative situation where your work wasn't being valued, and now you're stepping into like a new community where you feel totally secure. So even though like you might have like a little bit of that strain and pressure of like switching jobs right now, you're still feeling as though you're being supported. Here with your challenges that you're going to be facing though, we have the Four of Wands card, so another 4 card coming up here. Like a challenge card, I think that this isn't anything catastrophic here. If you're stepping into a new career right now, Taurus, I think that the problem that you're going to be facing is like, if you were caught up in like a negative work situation before where you weren't being valued for what you were doing, stepping into this new community, it might actually be better. And you might automatically feel that as soon as you step into the situation. As soon as you start working with these new people on this new project, you're going to feel the sensation of like being welcomed and being needed in that group. But I think that you're still holding on to like the past like a little bit in the sense of like, it might be hard to open up to these people. It might be hard. You might still be questioning whether or not you're being valued or not. So I think that that's kind of like the situation that you're going through right now, Taurus. Here in your area, the recent past, we have the Knight of Cups card, and in your area, the future, we have the King of Swords. So yeah, in your recent past, we just had like you going through a new emotional situation. In the recent past, you were definitely dealing with something emotionally. It wasn't just about walking away from a job. It's a lot more than that. If you decided to switch careers, or if you're going through a career change right now, it's more than just like, you know, wanting more money or just being valued. It's like the sensation of being valued is like really important to this Taurus here. You want to know that like every day that you show up, like not just like you're rendering profit for the corporation or something. You want to know that the team that you're working with really values you. Here going into the future though, I think that you're going to be able to set better barriers, not just between. See, I'm seeing like really the butterfly here on the throne is really popping out to me. I think that this is you going through a transformation right now. You're kind of like in that cocoon right now. And I think that in going into the future, you could be sprouting from that cocoon and really coming into your own because of the new environment that you're in and that you've been building up for yourself. And that's going to allow you to like really kind of like cut off the past and to cut off like those really like raw negative emotions that you were feeling in like your last workplace potentially. Here in your area of above, we have the Queen of Cups card. So this is kind of like what you're showing to the world right now. And in your area below, we have the Two of Wands card. So as far as like what you're showing to the world right now, I think that you're showing an incredible amount of creativity, especially if you're coming into a new career, a new job right now. I think that like you feel more open to express unique ideas on like how to tackle the problems that they're facing. Let's say you were working at one job where like you always had like these wonderful ideas to streamline things or to make things like more engaging, more creative, or to like take their content to the next level, but you were always shot down, you know? I think that right now you're in a situation where you are able to allow your artistic abilities to flourish, Taurus. So I'm seeing you really kind of coming into your own right now and really focusing on a craft. Here in your area below, though, we have the Two of Worlds card. You kind of know that the world is in your hands right now, and you're looking at these new horizons. So as far as this career goes, even though you're having a little bit of apprehension about how these people might be feeling about you, you're kind of worried that like they're going to feel the same way about you as people from your past, for instance. But I think that right now, deep down inside, you kind of understand that this is a different situation. You're stepping into a new world here. Taurus, we're going to go ahead and pull a card here for your area of advice, and then any external factors as well. So with your area of advice, we have the Page of Swords card. So I kind of just maintain a little bit that naive sense of exploration at this moment. Try not to allow your past to make you all like jaded and like, you know, like too difficult to work with, basically. Allow yourself to open up more to these people and to explore aspects of your creativity that were being stifled in your last environment. Here in your area of external factors, we have the Nine of Pentacles card. So I think that your external factors is that your wealth situation could definitely turn around over the coming weeks, the coming months. I think that the work that you're putting in, the creativity that you're expressing is definitely going to be rewarded, and it's going to allow you to flourish. Like maybe it won't be going to allow you to flourish in a sense of making like a little bit more money here, but also having like a larger friend group as well. The rabbit here in his garden, there's like a snail here, we have like the birds up here, really just like new people coming into like your circle and really appreciating you for the work that you're putting into something. Here in your, let's put these down here. Here in your area of hopes and fears, we have the Fool card, and in your area of an outcome, the Queen of Swords. So interesting for those two swords cards to come up there. As far as your hopes and fears go, I think that everything right now for you, Taurus, the hopes and fears for me is almost like summarizing the whole reading sometimes. And that's really caught up here in the Fool card. It's an area of hopes and fears. Your hopes are kind of caught up in making this transition, moving into something new, starting this new phase, journey of your life. But at the same time, there's a lot of fear that comes with that too. You don't know if you're going to step over some cliff here. But I kind of really tell you, like, the dog here is really standing out to me right now. How we're talking about friends. So you're going to have like these new people around you who are going to look out for you right now. So I'd say don't worry too much about any missteps. As long as you have like those new colleagues, those new friends around you, they'll be able to kind of guide you a little bit. As your area of an outcome though, we have the Queen of Swords card. And again, really that strong energy of like coming into your own here and like learning to like set those barriers, for instance. So again, that's the same energy here as the King of Swords. That came up in your area of the future. And I think that this is almost reaffirming that. This kind of saying, and this card coming up is really just reaffirming that. It's saying like, yeah, that's what I meant. So I think that your area of the outcome as far as like the future goes is pretty positive, but you're still dealing with like a little bit of trauma from like a past situation. And Taurus, here at the end of your reading, we're going to pull 3 cards for 3 yes, no, or maybe questions. So if you want to pause the video and think of those questions, we're going to pull 1, 2, and 3. So Taurus, for your first question here, I have a definite yes. For your second question, I have a bit of a maybe. And for your last question, I have a yes as well. So Taurus, thank you so much for joining us at 3 Rabbit Tarot. If this reading resonated with you, also check out your sun, moon, and rising. And definitely like this video, subscribe if you haven't, because that really helps us out the most. Also check out your monthly reading again, because that's going to paint a whole picture for the entire month for you. And again, thank you so much for joining us, Taurus, and we'll see you next week.